We know we ask a lot from our patron and support network, and we are always so grateful for your generosity. In these challenging times, it's even harder to raise the funding we need to serve our community and achieve our goals. So we're always looking for new ways to maintain our revenue without adding additional burdens to our supporters. Today, we're excited to share a great opportunity that can really help our community and requires no additional out-of-pocket from you. We've partnered with the Liberty Company Insurance Brokers and their Liberty Cares program. Liberty Cares is simple. You already make monthly payments for your insurance needs, whether it's auto, home, or for your business. For every line of insurance you move to Liberty, they will donate 25% of the commissions they receive on your policies back to our cause. And under this special partnership arrangement, that donation will come to us again and again every year you keep your policy with Liberty. Often, you'll be able to move your insurance into this program simply by signing one form. It's that easy. The Liberty Company is one of the nation's largest insurance brokers, and they've won a number of recognitions for their excellent operations and workplace culture, so you can rest assured that you will be well taken care of. If you would like to learn more about how this new partnership with Liberty can help turn your insurance dollars into much-needed funds for our community, please visit libertycompany.com/libertycares, or shoot them an email at libertycares@libertycompany.com. And please be sure to let them know that you're part of our community so that they will credit the benefit of your policies back to our organization. Your ongoing support is much appreciated, so thank you in advance.
Hello, good
Happy
afternoon.
Friday.
Welcome to Center at Home. This is Matt and hello. How are
Hi,
you?
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Navah.
So
You were looking very casual today.
I'm looking casual today because it's walk season, and
Yes.
so tomorrow is the
Buddy walk.
DSALA Buddy Walk. So here's my T-shirt.
And I am a
And-
walker. I'm not a white walker,
You're not a white walker?
No.
I am.
but
No.
you're very white too.
I am.
Am I allowed to say that?
I'm a little drawn today.
Okay.
A little drawn. So
But tomorrow is so important. It's so important, and it's a wonderful way that you can help the Down syndrome community. We're going to post about it like mad tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. and I want everyone to get out and help this wonderful organization that we've partnered with. And it's just a wonderful way of helping our expanded community, which is all special needs. And they are wonderful, and they really need your help in these unprecedented times. I mean, nonprofits, we were just talking about this. We're really struggling, a lot of us, and
including us. Everyone is.
I said including
Yeah.
us.
Everyone is.
Yes,
No,
but
these are uncertain times.
but I'm gonna
Unprecedented times.
listen to our first guest. I'm gonna spin her input.
I'm looking forward to that.
and bring a positive spin to that, which
Let's
is
do it.
we have so many exciting things coming up. We have so many exciting things, and I think right now people need something to look forward to. I mean, there's all of these events and all of these wonderful things that we are so used to doing and seeing our friends. And even if our friends are colleagues, it's still about seeing your community and speaking to them and going to your speaking engagements and events. And all of these things have been put aside. I mean, the poker tournament was virtual that this year, and that was a
Everything's
big deal to a lot of people.
Can I get on my high horse for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
So I think we have to start thinking in a way that we haven't been thinking. Okay. I think that now we got a situation here because we got a lot of people who are dependent on the actions that our government takes to survive. And there's a lot of people who the stimulus checks that came in, while they were small, they kept people from going hungry. And I think, we have a stalemate going on that's ridiculous. And I think that we need action. And hopefully, our leaders will start thinking of these, the saying that we've heard through this whole pandemic is these are unprecedented times. And quite honestly, I don't think anyone believes that.
Right.
I don't think they're backing it up with action. I think that, if these are truly unprecedented times, then we'll actually see some action.
Right.
And people
Where are
will
the
get off their
unprecedented
asses.
actions?
Yeah.
Unprecedented
exactly.
actions.
People get off their asses and
Mhm.
they'll start doing something. And come
Mhm.
on, it's we are in unprecedented times.
Yeah.
We're in dangerous times, and we need people to kind of think like that. We need our leaders to think like that, and to think. Sometimes we need them to think for other people.
Yeah.
Because this whole mask thing, I'll never understand it. I never will.
Mask?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The whole mask
I thought you
thing.
said mass.
The whole no.
Like
no.
midnight mass.
No. But it's like masks will help you get through this. Wearing a mask will help you get through this. It's just 1 + 1 is 2. It's not anything else other than that. And there are people that believe that they'll actually hurt you. Like Trump was on the thing last night.
Well,
saying,
let's not get political.
Well, I'm going to get a little political because Trump.
That sounds a lot political.
No, but let's follow the science a little bit here. Let's
Mm-hmm.
follow the science. Masks will help you. Okay? They will help you. They will keep you from getting sick. And I don't know why anyone would come out with the statistic that 85% of people that wear masks are going to get sick. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And it's like grasping at false information. And it's just, I'm sorry.
Well, I think if you're
buy
just the average person, or if you're an older person, or
I'm an average person.
you are very average person. But I'm
an
saying
average person.
that you're very opinionated. If you're an average American person from middle America, you believe what you're hearing. I mean, I read something to you that I had read on Facebook, and I believed it was a true fact. And you showed me that, no, in fact, that wasn't a true fact. But I think because we have so much social media input, it's really hard to believe what is truth and what is false. And then when people tell you this is the truth, it's very, it's very confusing, and it's very, it's hard to know what to believe. I mean, there are things that are black and white.
That's black.
What
and
I was
white.
talking to, I was talking to Sandra from DSALA is that the Down syndrome community are really struggling with online learning. I mean, they are struggling.
Yeah. And
the majority of them had support people in school, in-person support, and they don't have that now. And a lot of the community is low-income families. They don't even have Wi-Fi, a lot of them. And that's criminal to me.
So what happens in a situation where you're distance learning from home and you're supposed to be using Wi-Fi, but you don't have Wi-Fi? What happens in it?
It's very clear what happens.
Situation?
You don't
learn.
They regress. There's no learning happening.
But there has to be some, and this is an interesting question for any of our lawyer friends out there that work on IEPs. What does happen in a situation where you have distance learning and you don't have Wi-Fi?
But the majority of families don't know their rights. You sit on your lofty tower and you know your rights. You're protected. You're represented. Tower. The majority of families don't know their rights. Maybe English is the second language. You have a new diagnosis. You're overwhelmed. Your husband is an a-hole and he left, and you're alone, and you're doing the best that you can as a single mom. And you have this volume of paper that tells you what your rights are as a special needs parent. And maybe, at the moment you should be reading that, and you don't have time. I know that because I was that person, and I thank God I'm in a position now that you and I both, we can help these people. Mm-hmm. And to me, what Sandra said was very, very meaningful, because going back to your thing about the stimulus, those guys can take their time because they are in their mansions. Those guys can take their time because even
if they're not in a mansion, they're getting paid.
But I'm saying they have the ability to take the time, and even a week is the difference for some people being able to feed their families, or going to food lines that they've never been to food lines before.
Yeah, I've seen all these stories this week on the news about these families that are running into the dead end, financial dead end.
Yeah.
And it's just awful. I mean,
Well, I know you've never been there, but I have been there in my life, and it's Oh, sorry.
Oops. Oh my God. Beep.
Anyway,
well, no,
let's lighten this load. Let's lighten it
load?
up. Well, let's lighten it up.
Okay.
We're getting too heavy, and I'm starting to
I like
cuss.
it when you get salty, though.
I get frustrated because
Nice.
there are so many families who call me, and I want to help people more than I want to help more than I can, and we need to have somebody being, more, like you say, people need to get angry and loud and be there for the most vulnerable, which is our community.
And I'll say this: you can never get too loud. You can never ever get too loud. Yeah. I mean, this is a fight. It's a constant fight, and
I love to fight.
And you can never get too loud. So
Kamina knows I love to fight.
Don't ever be afraid. Don't ever be afraid in this community of getting loud, because you need to get loud. You need to be loud. Yeah. You need to.
And you need to get loud for the other parents.
You need to stir some shit up. You gotta do it.
But you need to be loud for the parents who can't be, who are too scared, too overwhelmed. We need to be loud for them too, because we're in there. Yeah. We were there. I mean, you weren't, but I was.
No, but I mean, I had an education. I had an education very, very early into when Will was in special education.
Yeah.
I like this crash course of special education, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I had some very important people to, Valerie Vanneman was one of them. Bridget Amons, I think, was one. Janine Steele.
But it inspired you because of what you were seeing, the injustice to the children in Will's, community, to do something, to get up and speak. Because your last name isn't Smith. That helps.
Because when you're in this situation, when you're in a special needs situation and you're in special education, there is a word that people live by that is unfortunate, and it's called no.
Yeah.
And
they're used to
saying no, and they feel
they're
like
used to hearing no.
They're used to saying no, and they're used to hearing no. The parents are used to hearing no, but the school, the district and the school are used to saying
no. That's what I said.
Yeah. And so they think it's more they want parents to litigate because that's going to stop this from happening.
Yeah.
And it's going to, and quite frankly, they don't have the money to give everyone what they need.
I was just going to say,
the problem. They don't have the money to give everything they need. So they've got to have something going on that stops that from happening. Unfortunately, they say no all the time. And that's where we're going to segue into our first guest. We're just going to, quick turn.
As we get fired up,
yeah,
and as we get frustrated, as we get tired of not going to Hawaii and seeing our friends, all of this is building up. It's like, the pandemic is really building up on all of us as special needs parents. And our first guest, Matt and I have known for a long time. She's an amazing, dynamic lady and
a dynamo,
a person who happens to be an amazing autism mom as well. So let's bring Kamina Star. That's the new handle.
Hello,
and she is a star.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going? Good. Well, we were rambling a little bit at the beginning of the show, but I think we're doing okay.
But Kamina, what I was going to say, and you can say it much better than I can, is one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how can we help parents get some peace and some de-stressing. Right now, it's almost impossible. And people are doing negative things to make themselves feel better. And so the other day, I'm going to tell the story before we talk about what we're going to do. The other day, I was really in a bad place. I've been having terrible nightmares about my friend who passed away and just really feeling like I needed a break. I haven't been to the beach in forever. And it was like all bubbling up. And when I get that way, I swim. And for 3 days, I haven't been able to swim. So when I saw Kamina, I was just I was like a live wire. Nobody could touch me. I was
So-
like a hard rock.
Isn't that the way you usually are?
She was wound up.
Hey, Matt Asner here. And so Kamina's like, I'm going to give you a reading, a healing. And I said, I don't have time for it. My ADHD was in full effect. And she forced me to just listen to her. And I listened to Kamina, and in a matter of 40 minutes, she completely changed my mindset, my just my place, the place I was in my head. And I kept telling her, I'm having these I'm peaking. But the craziest thing about it, Kamina, was maybe like 20 minutes after you left, because it kind of makes you feel kind of groggy almost in the beginning after we're done with our session. But 20 minutes after you left, I felt like I had taken a shot of adrenaline. And I said to Krissa later the next day, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think I gave you a word in edgewise, because it wasn't just that you put me back on track. I felt energized. It was like my block gave me energy. And
so explain to the layman here,
Yes.
obviously,
Okay.
what we're talking about, because I have no clue.
well, what I'm trying to say, and I'm stammering a little bit because I see Kamina already start to turn into a jabberwock a little bit, because she energizes people. So my thought was, how do we continue energizing the community? So starting not this Tuesday, but starting next week, we have a new show
Okay.
in our circle, in our center circle, in our center platform. And Kamina, I'm going to let you debut our new show that's going to be on Tuesdays at 3:30.
In 2 weeks, Healing Self-Care with Amina Star will be happening at Tuesdays, 3:30 to 4. And you are going to have a lot of fun when you see this show. We are going to be talking about self-care for the caregiver. And I am a caregiver. I'm a mom of an 18-year-old daughter on the autism spectrum. We have a lot of fun together. I'm also a musician and a spiritual teacher who teaches integrated energy therapy. So I'm going to help you out with some energy healing. And this show, just so you guys know, I plan to bring healing and high joy vibrations to all, which is what I believe that our community needs right now. And just to make you feel lighter and to make things go a little bit better in your life. And I think that's something that we all need. So Healing Self-Care with Amina Star is in 2 weeks.
Yahoo! No, I think Maddie, to him, like all the metaphysical and stuff like that is kind of like it's above. He can't really wrap his head around it.
Well, that's hold on. That's not true.
Really?
No, because I'm a biocentrist. I am a biocentrist.
Oh, really?
I am.
Okay.
And so I believe in the circle of life and returning once you die and all that. I believe in all that. I'm a biocentrist, but I have a difficult time kind of with the connection, like while you're here on Earth. I guess.
And tell you something though about that connection. Now she shared her story. Thank you, Navah, for sharing. I always love when you share, because when you share, it gives other people a real life look at, and they can go back and see you before and after. And right there. So let me just tell him why he's connected to you. And as close as he is to you, we all have energy in our bodies. You believe that. You know that. We all work well with each other's energy. Okay, especially if you're connected like a husband and wife. So as close as you two are sitting there, she got healed the other day. She's now healing you. And that's exactly how we're going to do it. I'm going to say healing things and use positive reinforcement that's normally kept for your kids in ABA to say, you're doing a good job, you're an amazing person, and that energy is going to vibrate off of me and it's going to jump onto you. And just like how you guys are together, that's really all we're doing. In a nutshell, we're transferring good energy and good vibes.
Well, and I get that. I do. I get that. That the way you put that is perfect. I mean, I do believe in transferring energy and using. As a matter of fact, I was driving to work today with Will, and Will's been having a tough time. He's been having a rough time, and
didn't we just say that we wanted Kamina
to
heal him? We want you to start working with
take
Will.
a look to
take
talk,
a look
talk to him.
Take a look under the hood.
Take a look under the hood. No, but we were driving in, and he was like, he's very connected to his feelings, and he started kind of sharing them on Facebook and stuff like that. But he was saying, like, I feel very negative. I feel very negative, and I don't know how to get out of that. I don't know how to get out of being negative. And I said to him, I said, well, think about things, visualize things that make you happy. And when you see people that are happy, key into that, and which is kind of what you're saying.
It's all what healing self-care is about. What I'm doing is reversing that. I'm kind of reverse engineering some of the treatments and things that we might have gotten for the children and for our young adults on the spectrum. I don't have a child anymore, but I'm reversing that engineering to also use that on myself, because just what you told him, we forget to use for ourselves. So now politics, we're worried about all this. I don't even want to start to mention how many things could give us anxiety day to day right now.
Yeah.
Homeschool, you've mentioned constantly wearing masks, you've mentioned all these other things in the show just today that could give us anxiety. And what we want to do is bring some of those principles back home. Now, I want you to know that I've learned a lot from having a child with autism, because just like you said, Matt knows his feelings. Keena is very well spoken and knows her feelings, but she doesn't know how to be able to help that. And so these IEP treatments and energy healing at large are something that also helps our children. And they come to it a little bit faster than we do sometimes, to say, because they are not used to speaking to other people, or they may be camouflaging and actually can't use words, or at the time that they're having tantrums, or maybe nonverbal. And so they're really much more in touch with their feelings. They're more empathic than we are.
Yes.
So we're just learning from the kids and pushing that back out to the caregivers for healing self-care. So not only that we're doing self-care, but we're healing at the same time. You get it? So I hope this is really going to be a really good thing that you can understand, Matt. Because if I can reach you, if I can get you to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the litmus test. But it's interesting because you mentioned our kids with autism being empathetic.
Yes.
And it's what's fascinating to me about that is what a change that's happened over the last 10 or so years. In that, 10 years ago, that was not in the lexicon of autism. Yes. Empathy was not in the, that was actually one of the reasons they
thought kids with autism were cold and separated.
They don't have empathy. They're cut off.
They didn't show any emotion.
Exactly. And that was actually one of the reasons that they thought Will was not autistic, was because he had empathy.
My daughter was actually diagnosed late, 2 years because of that. It took me 2 years to get a diagnosis because of that. She's very verbal and a lot of other things they didn't think autism was, but they also don't think and didn't even consider our feelings and siblings and caregivers as grandparents and behavioral therapy, all these things that they haven't included. What I heard you say was unprecedented times, and what people say, I wanted to focus that back on unprecedented healing, because what's good about this time right now is that we have an opportunity to really get to the heart of what our community needs, be it all caregivers. We get to attack and ease anxiety, ease the stress. And now we think about trauma in a different way. We think about cultural reciprocity in a different way. And we think about being empaths in a different way. We know that we have to be a good person here so that we can give good care to our children who are sucking all of that up. Because they're not doing what they, listen, my kid never does what I tell her to do. Okay? She does what she sees me do. Okay? So she's just sucking it up. So I give her those good vibes, and I will say that I'm going to get serious on the show. Yes, I'm happy-go-lucky, but, listen, I'm a hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay? I'm an autism mom. There's a lot of things that went harsh in my life, but I'm coming to you from a very disturbing place and getting over all of this trauma. We can go 7 layers deep about just police brutality in autism or all special needs. But what I'm giving you is that other side of it, is the solution of how we're going to get out of this hole.
Yeah.
Caregivers, as a community, as special needs community, we all need each other. Let's stand together and dig ourselves out of this hole and not be, I don't want to say let's not worry about it, because we're to concern ourselves with politics. But the reason why I don't get into that either is because as a healer, my job is to The solution to that would be for each person to start being able to think and know these things on their own. I'm a Tiger trainer, so I have been working with parents with IEPs, with homeschool. I have a lot. I have 20 years of autism experience that I'm bringing to the healing industry. And also I'm a musician, so I got to sing a little bit on the show.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
So Kamina.
But we had people asking questions about like what other services do? You do Reiki healing, you do.
So integrated energy therapy is likened to Reiki. It's I don't know exactly where it looks. So everybody's like, where is it?
That's good.
Anyway, let me look in your eyes, people.
I know, because I keep going from it makes our guy
energy therapy is likened to Reiki, where it's a touch modality. It takes about the same amount of time. The offers that I will be doing will be after my show for 30 minutes, but it's very limited space, of course. Yeah. Of course, because due to safety regulations, we want to be safe and make sure that everyone is feeling secure before they come in to get their wonderful healing. So I'll be doing that 30 minutes after the show. And it's going to be like kind of first come, first serve basis.
Yeah.
But basically what this is, touch modality likened into Reiki. What does that mean? That means I'm going to focus on the chakras that are in your body. I don't know if people can see me, but I'm going to focus on the chakra areas. The one over your head, your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat chakra. And I'm going to go all the way down your chakra line to the 7 major chakras and clear out any, this is a really scientific term, junk. It's special. I learned it. You got to be a doctor for that. I'm going to put the junk in your chakras. And then with IT, integrated energy therapy, you imprint the better pattern that you want. So I'm taking junk, and now that I've cleaned it up and hand sanitizer and all of that stuff like that, flour something in that spot to where you can. So I'm going to put something out, take something out bad, and put something in good, because you can declutter all day. But if there's no sunlight coming to that area and the area's not feng shui, so as the metaphor goes, it's still not nice. You want to be comfortable in your own skin. So healing is something about forgiving yourself, forgiving others. You were in a bad position before. Let me remove that trauma. Let me get that out, and then imprint something good so that you're able to be successful and happy.
So Kamina is going to have her show. It's going to start at 3:30. And it's this Tuesday. Actually, Kamina is going to cover for me because I'm going to be out of town.
I forgot about that.
Yes. So Kamina is going to be here covering for me. And so the following Tuesday, I don't know. Do we have that date in front of us?
It's right there, isn't it?
Does it say the first date? No, I don't think so. So 2 weeks from today.
Tuesday.
2 weeks from today.
A week from Tuesday.
Yes, we're going to have our regular check-in health and wellness show with me and Krissa Saad, who's our mental health director. And then the next segment will be Kamina, and she'll be doing her healing and self-care. And that'll be every Tuesday. But what I just wanted to clarify what Kamina said is once you see Kamina do her show, you're going to want to meet her and have some one-on-one Kamina time, because that's really what you need to have a kind of experience like I had. And we definitely are going to get you to see Will. But like Kamina said, it's a first come, first serve basis. Kamina is only here on Tuesdays, and we want to keep it COVID compliant. So Kamina is going to be in our rooms that are COVID compliant. And so just let us know if you want more information about Kamina. Then I'm actually going to have you, for now, until Kamina has her own center address, reach out to Shelby at teafc.org. All right. So if you want to write that down, if you want more information about seeing Kamina on a one-to-one basis, you reach out to Shelby at teafc.org, and we'll set it up, because that's going to be a very hard ticket to get. And Kamina,
he got some free books from you guys pumping it up.
I'm very excited about this new show. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for you to share all of your magic, because she is magic, by the way. I've been to a lot of healers, and Kamina is the real deal. And I'm so excited for you to start being a part of this, the supporting of the caregivers. That is what we're trying to do. Support the caregivers.
More excited and grateful, and thank you to you two especially for giving me this opportunity to serve my own community and the community at large. It means so much to me to be able to get in here with some of these healings, and you know how I love to make people happy. So just thank you two so much for giving me a chance.
You're so good at
it. I'm so excited. Kamina Star, and she really truly is a star.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kamina, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you, Kamina.
Thank you.
Oops. I think she was going to say love you.
I think so. But I think Willie would really benefit from one of her healings.
He knows her. And
yeah, but what Kamina does really is exactly what Will needs.
Yeah.
Is just to be reminded of all the gratitude and all the goodness in his life, and just be redirected in a positive way.
It's difficult.
And learn tools that he can do that when he's not with us.
He's so sweet and wonderful. And
you're a little biased, aren't you? No,
it's true.
Willie is. And he really the best thing about Will is that he knows how to express his needs.
It's amazing, actually.
And you hear so many stories about kids. I will always remember the story of the mom saying that it was so hard to get her kid out the door, and he was so fussy, and then they come home and his foot is just blooded because he had his shoe was hurting him, and he didn't have the words verbally to tell his mom that his shoe hurt, and that story stuck with me so deeply that I'm so grateful that Will is able to express himself and be able to, say, these are the things that I need, and be able to,
and it's amazing. It's amazing because I think as parents, we kind of, well, you're different, actually.
Yeah, that's for sure. My God.
I was just going to say something that doesn't apply to her.
Oh, yeah. My God. I don't.
No, I was going to say I get distracted a lot as a person. And I tend to.
As Eddie would say, you think? That's his Caillou face.
Well, I do. I do. I tend to get distracted a little bit. And I have to be kind of shocked back into kind of reality. And
with my cattle prod.
Yeah. No. But you never get like that. It's you're always kind of centered.
Well, I seem to be distracted.
I'm sure there are moments.
Do you remember the lady saying I scan the room?
Yeah. Because
I seem to be distracted, but I'm actually aware of everything that's happening in the room. And it's part of why I'm so drained every day, because it takes a lot
so much
to be
work
me.
To scan the room.
To keep all the
to look out.
Yeah. And it's hard for me to even sit still,
So we didn't have Chelsea today. So I thought,
but they have an amazing. We have to put in a little.
Oh, they have a great
plug for their
yes.
movie chat with Chelsea Darnell. They're seeing one of my favorite movies.
Mine too.
No, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you have ever seen that. Look at your hands.
I know.
This is from Panda Girl. Puppy Bites.
Puppy Bites. What do you mean?
I'm kidding. Monty Python
and the Holy Grail.
It's the greatest shows. Chelsea, and that's actually, we still have it up. Shelby at teafc.org. You have to.
Now.
Okay. You have to sign in to get onto Movie Chat, just for safety reasons.
So if you'd like, so what is Movie Chat? Movie Chat is a thing we do every Saturday night at 7:00. Pacific time, but you can join from anywhere in the world, really. And what we do is everyone watches a movie, given movie. So it's like E.T. or whatever. And this week it's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
And you watch the film and you talk about it. And a lot of times the talk can lead to some other things, like what's your favorite shoe? I don't know.
Well, but it was created by Chelsea and I and Chrissa for our social club. And we had just started our social club. It was incredibly, it was just right on the precipice of just really getting big. And we were unfortunately.
COVID.
Yeah. But Chelsea really was passionate about it, and she really saw the need for our teens and adults to have this interaction and social kind of club. So she continued it. She put it on a virtual platform, and it is blown up. It's been something that a lot of these kids, I don't know how they'd gotten through the pandemic without having this to look forward to.
And it's growing and growing.
Yeah.
It keeps growing. And so this week it's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the film, join them at 7:00 on Saturday night, and have fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've seen that film probably about 50 times. Probably.
It's so much fun. When we were growing up in the camper, we would do skits for Monty Python, and everyone would have their role. And I know like almost every line for a couple of the movies, not every movie. But back to the social club. So one of the things that we're really excited about is that we're going to expand the social club. And I've been asked by Kathy Gott and some of the other real machers of the community. Do you know what that word means?
Yeah.
Pillars of the community.
I know what that means.
And so we're creating
big cheeses of the community.
Big cheeses. And I was very, very honored to be included in this because I see the value of it. I was so inspired by the Netflix series Love on the Spectrum. And the part that really spoke to me was that they had this dating consultant, this wonderful woman who really got to know each one of her clients and each one of their needs, their specific needs for getting the support they needed to have a relationship. So we're getting together with these wonderful organizations. Foothill Alliance is one of them as well. And we are creating this incredible program that is inspired by Love on the Spectrum. Each organization that is participating will be holding their own program at their own organization. So here at the center, we'll have our therapists learning this program and how to support the participants if they are interested in relationships or they already have a relationship, how to break up with somebody, how to talk to somebody online.
How to make up with someone? How
to make up with someone? You need help with that, huh? I'm going to actually sign you up. You're going to be the first one. But anyway, I'm very excited. It's inspired by Love on the Spectrum. It's going to be coming to the center in the new year, and we're working hard to make it an amazing program. It's again created and co-run by autistic adults because we don't want to do anything without everyone having a say in the creation of their program. So
I'm going to say something that should be available for everyone. You know, I mean, seriously, I think everyone has issues navigating love. Love is a treacherous road.
It is.
And
love
it is.
Love is a
battlefield.
Okay.
And you need help navigating love.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. So look for that in January. It's very exciting.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So the other thing that we talk about with Chelsea, and movie chat tomorrow night, 7:00. The other thing we usually talk about is our Hollywood moments, and so we didn't really have that this week. So I was thinking we just saw like something really cool on Netflix. We watched the Haunting of Bay Manor.
Bly.
I'm sorry.
Bly.
I said Bay. Right?
Yeah.
Bly Manor. The Haunting of Bly Manor.
I loved it. I didn't love it as much as Haunting of Hill House, which honestly was one of my favorite series of all time. But I loved this one more because they showed this beautiful queer couple and it was like a love story.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it's so rare that you have a depiction of two women loving each other.
I actually think I liked it more.
Well,
because I thought
there were parts of it that were so disturbing. I had nightmares from that. I mean, it was like an acid trip, some parts of it. The other one was a straight haunting, a kind of like jump out at you kind of ghost story that was terrifying. I thought much more terrifying.
It was definitely a gothic ghost tale.
This one? Yes.
Very much so.
But it was beautiful, and I love that they used a lot of the people from The Haunting of the Hill House because I really love that show, and the lead in this one didn't really get a big part in the last one. And she was amazing. I mean, my favorite part.
You have such a great eye for faces.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize anyone. I mean, she was like, "Oh, that's Henry Thomas." Isn't that his name?
You know, I can't remember who told me. I think it was Elaine Hall. There's an actual condition where you can look at somebody and you can't recognize their features. There's an actual condition.
I like the opposite.
Does anyone know what that condition is? I think you have that.
No, I do. I can meet someone 5 times, and it's like I just draw a blank. It's terrible, and I know who they are, but it's very strange. And
that's what I'm saying. There's an actual condition.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
But, if anyone knows what that is.
But anyway, I didn't recognize these actors, and it was strange. Now
I'm starting Evil, which I like a lot too.
I slept through most of that.
I know. Well, I mean, we have this new puppy that she is crated, which is a nightmare. And Matt wakes up. Matt does the night shift, and I do the all day shift. And she is, you're probably sleeping like 2 hours a night.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough, but it's all good. I think where's my?
I've heard you say so many times, "You're lucky you're so cute."
All right. That's my mantra in the middle of the night. I wake up and the dog's like carrying on, and I go to the, Grail, and I'm like, "Oh, you're very lucky that you're cute, because otherwise I don't know what I would do."
No.
But but it's interesting. I always think it's interesting being up in the middle of the night. There's something like bizarrely peaceful about it. And
I totally disagree.
So
I think
quiet.
There's something unnatural about being up in the middle of the night. You should be sleeping.
Well, you go outside and it's like bizarre because it's so quiet, and every sound is heightened.
Dr. Gary's going to come on in a moment. Let's ask him what happens when a man of your age goes night after night after night with 1 or 2 hours of sleep.
He should know, right?
Mm-hmm.
He should know. Is he on?
Yeah.
But I just see a white screen.
Gary, where are you?
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Gary. Mr. Billadoo. Dr.
Guys,
Billadoo.
you're cutting in and out.
Oh, no.
Can you hear us now?
Now I can.
Okay. So
I was telling Matt that there's something really not healthy about sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night, but now that I realize that you're a little bit of an insomniac yourself.
It's been bad lately.
Oh, really? But it's not, I mean, to me, if I miss even 1 or 2 nights of sleep, my migraines get crazy. I can't function. I don't know how you guys do it. My cousin Nina is exactly the same.
Well, and your immune system's going to take a hit after a while too, but
there you go.
Well, we don't want that these days, do we?
And I was going to say, in these times, that's the last thing. You can only have so much vitamin C,
Well, that's a good segue, and we're going to save the positive stuff, the real positive stuff, for the end of this each show, so we can end on an up note.
good.
But let's talk a little bit about where we are in terms of the COVID situation, because you're in the thick of it. You're actually seeing people every day and giving them tests every day.
Right.
So how are we doing up in Washington State right now?
So a lot more recently, I mean, we're seeing another spike. We're probably getting 2 or 3 positives quite frequently. People people in the community. They just sent us a box of probably 250 more test kits because some of the schools are trying to go back to a more in person. And so what they're going to do is they want us to test the kids, especially when some of them go back. Some of them are going to require a test before they go to school. And then other ones that go back, and if they have an outbreak, then we're going to have to start testing a lot more kids.
Gary, it doesn't make much sense to me in this situation to send kids back to school. I don't know. I know the whole country is like trying to do that. But to me, it just kind of defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do, which is kind of mitigate this situation.
Right.
And so what do you think about that? What do you think about sending kids back to school? Do you think
that's been the whole debate. I mean, I people that know me know that I don't think it's a good idea unless you have a really good plan in place. I mean, a couple of the schools here are very small, so you could keep them very, very well separated. But again, I mean, I reiterate it every time I think we talk. There's no vaccine yet. Probably
Yeah.
not until next year. They're saying now, earliest April. And now with flu season kicking up and starting to see some of that mix is just, it can be devastating. And so my personal opinion on it has been, let's not do it until we have a better treatment in place, something with a vaccine where we can say, okay, let's inoculate people before they go back and get them in that trouble in the first place. If we can do this safely with the telemedicine and the homeschooling as far as online virtual, why not keep doing it until we know we're okay?
And I'm going to be I'm going to be the other side.
Okay.
I'm going to be the opposition for a moment. I was telling Matt that I was speaking to, a woman who runs the Down Syndrome Association here. And what she was saying is, that these kids can't do and sometimes don't have the equipment to be able to afford even Wi-Fi or a computer system. And so a lot of these kids, they cannot learn unless they're in person with the supports that they're normally used to. And then on the financial side of it, we have parents who are coming to the end of the road financially.
Correct.
And so maybe they're not thinking at the big picture of health and wellness, but they're thinking about how, if I don't go back to work, I'm not going to be able to feed my kids.
Correct.
And we're not in that position, so it's easy for us to say. But I always see both sides, and I know that there are a lot of people who are really struggling, especially with their special needs kids and online learning. It's really the two it's a non sequitur. They don't go together.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, there's absolutely two sides to that. I mean, I know what's been nice here in a couple of the schools here, for the ones that don't have that. I mean, there are kids that don't have the Wi-Fi or the ability to have a laptop. They did get a big donation of like the Chromebooks.
Yeah.
They're allowing them to have that. People are kind of piggybacking off of each other's Wi-Fi. The school here set up their parking lot as a Wi-Fi free zone.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they can go, you could take them, sit up there, do whatever assignment. And then they also have the option of, if you can't do that and be online for an online class, you're able to either email it from somewhere else later, do the assignment, and then email it in. You don't have to do it the way they're trying to do that. It's kind of the old way where you used to mail in your packet, you did the traditional learning from a distance. So I think that
those are wonderful, wonderful accommodations. And I guess because LA County is so overwhelmed, they're not thinking those terms. But I mean, it seems to me that we can't just make a rubber stamp for the entire LA County.
Well, and I think you're right, though, as far as, special abilities is really a lot tougher. I mean, I think that's a one-on-one situation for many cases. And then if you don't have that and a parent does need to work, absolutely, it's devastating. And that is happening here too. And we do see that. And then you have to try to say, how can we help that member out to get through that? It's a whole community thing. And I think my frustration for this, and texting you about what's frustrating to me here, we're not being enough of a community. Everybody's not together on this, and that part to me is very sad.
I was talking a little bit about that in the beginning of the show.
Nationwide, though, isn't that Gary? Isn't it feel nationwide that people are losing?
Well, it's almost like it's like I think people are just losing their
humanity.
Their drive. I don't know.
Humanity.
Well, everybody's frustrated. I I mean, everybody wants it. Everybody wants everything open.
It's like attrition. It's like people just are just going through the motions now, and it's become unreal. Right. And even though we know people that have had it, and we know that people can get it from anyone, it's become unreal.
Right.
Unless it happens within your actual immediate family unit, it becomes kind of just a.
I think our leaders can't even get along and can't get together on it. I mean, you got Trump saying he's going to go wade into a crowd of people and kiss people, which is just crazy to me. And then, you got Chris Christie saying I was in ICU and it's very serious, and this is a situation that we got to listen to.
And,
so,
and honestly, and they're both the same kind of, high risk person.
Exactly.
Chris Christie probably didn't get the same care that.
But the issue that I have is that these guys all had remdesivir and Regeneron, and it's like, you or I am going to go to the hospital with this. We're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Right. It's funny that you say that, because one of the ones that we had here is actually going to get that drug. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Shows what you know, Matt.
Wow, I stand corrected.
So I think they're trying. I mean, there are some that are trying. The different hospitals are seeing some cases where they say, okay, this is this. We saw it work here, so yeah, we're going to try it. And
but Gary,
that may be what it takes.
But isn't? Yeah. I mean, and this is a real good question. Isn't it? Doesn't it depend on insurance and whether they'll okay it? And I mean.
Absolutely.
It's not like everyone's going to enter the hospital and they're going to say, well, he's a COVID patient, so he gets Regeneron, he gets remdesivir. Right. That's what's going to happen because it's automatic. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen.
But you think about what we've dealt with, not just from this. Think about insurance companies, period. I mean,
of course.
What you have to fight to get a MRI, what you have to fight to get your insulin, what you have to fight to get an epinephrine pen for somebody with anaphylaxis. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God!
We were just talking.
No,
about that.
I mean we actually.
You don't want to say that on?
No, I can say it online.
I wouldn't.
Why? I don't care.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, one of our kids has allergies, and
I would not say that online.
Well, no, it's okay.
Okay.
And the insurance is going to pay for this EpiPen, and it's like it was crazy, like $800, $700 or something like that.
It's terrible.
It was crazy. I mean, it was. Yeah. I think I was going to say.
And unfortunately, it just depends on what you have. I mean, the insurance companies are all so varied. There's not a consistency, and so what may cost somebody 54 cents costs somebody else $400.
Yeah.
And that was a scary thing. It's unsustainable.
That was a scary thing last night. Is when they said, let's talk about the clear plans for insurance for, healthcare futures. Nobody's giving anybody clear plans. And a family like ours is paying thousands and
thousands. You're getting a little.
No, that makes me frustrated. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. Most people can't afford insurance.
Right. That's a big thing.
It is a big thing. And we have, we're a progressive country, even though we don't like to say that. We are a progressive country. We need to think of our people and take care of our people.
Why don't
I think my thing is, like I said, I just wish we would see more community and everybody act together responsibly and say, how do we get through this together and take care of each other? I mean, you look at your neighbor and you just say, oh, that happened to you. Sorry. Instead of saying, how can I help you?
Right.
How do you make this better for you?
Everything, all your efforts, Gary, it's like, no matter how much you put into it, if there are people that are just kind of, letting the chips fall where they may, it's 3 steps forward and 10 steps back for the people that are really, the high risk first responders.
Right. I mean, like that one I sent you the other day where it showed 17,000 cases in a week. You look at UW that just posted their fraternity and their sorority, 238 cases in just 2 days.
Gosh.
I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, have we not figured that out yet, that you release stuff like that and just go helter skelter, you're going to get it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to really be seeing a lot of that coming up because we got, all these holidays.
So you better start sleeping more because Gary just said everyone's going to get it. So you better start sleeping.
You too, Gary. So,
let's talk about.
I'm going to talk about something stuff. Like this is going to be fun. Ready?
Gary and Maddie. This is fun for Gary and Maddie.
So we do an auction every year, and it's called Inktoberfest. And every year we do an auction through Heritage Auction House, and this year is no different. Even though when we went down the path of doing the auction this year, I thought to myself, I don't think we're going to have a big turnout. I don't think it's going to happen, but We actually have online right now 82 items that are up for auction, and there'll be some more in December because we couldn't get everything in. So there'll be more in December, but 82 items right now, and we've got amazing things. I mean, and if you out there are interested in comic books at all, I mean, we have some of the greatest comic artists ever that have donated some artwork. One is Neil Adams, and Bill
Jim Lee. Jim Lee's on there.
Jim Lee.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, we have an incredible group of artists this year. Kevin Nolan, and Gary Bilodeau. Gary Bilodeau has some stuff up there, and Gary, I like your stuff up there. So we'll see how it does. I'm excited that you're up there.
But
there's thank you.
There's some stuff for everyone. I mean, it's not just comic art.
Actually,
there's some incredible.
There is some incredible stuff.
I even liked some of the choices on there.
There's actually Tom Taggart is an artist.
His stuff was crazy.
Who is amazing, and he does these incredible resin sculptures of kind of creepy, bizarre, wonderful
did like
things.
A Frankenstein.
He did a Frankenstein and a devil and a pumpkin head, and they're really well done. And
those are amazing.
Will Sargent, who's a guitarist for Echo and the Bunnymen, he has 3 pieces up there.
And how do people go to the auction?
They can go, if you go to the auction, you go to ha.com, ha.com, and you search Asner, and you'll find it that way. And it's probably up on the front page too.
Do you want to put that in?
Oh yeah, I'll put that in. You can just
and I've been sharing it on there so they can look at any of mine too and send it from there. So
ha.com. That stands for Heritage Auctions, right?
Yep, heritageauctions.com.
Cool.
And then just you look, do a search for Asner.
When does the auction close?
Okay, so what we're doing is it's an online auction until the 28th, and on the 28th it goes live. Woo. And then they actually do a live auction. And if you haven't ever seen it on Heritage,
I remember last year
we
was
watched
fun.
It's actually a lot of fun to watch, and it's it will it'll go live, and you'll have this thing, it'll say watch it live, and you can actually watch the bidding live. It's a lot of fun. And we've done this is our 3rd year, and I am incredibly thankful to all of the artists that donated. And just mentioning a couple more, Dave DeVries, Brett Breeding, Jill Thompson, Elsha Chartre. I probably destroyed that name. Il Gonzalez. So we have a lot of women this year, and it's a great thing, and a lot of fun. Take a look. Once again, ha.com. Look up Asner. It's in there. 82 items. You'll have fun looking through them.
Yeah, they're great pieces.
And I donated 2 pieces this year out of my own personal collection. I donated 2 Batman pieces. So
we got to get rid of that personal collection. Ridiculous. Just take some space.
I'm hoping to add. I'm bidding on a few things. I'm bidding on a few things. I am.
Talk to Dina about that. She probably has a ton at my house that she wants me to get rid of. So yeah.
All right. I'll be a willing receptacle for that.
That's it. That's it.
Well, when you move down south, you're gonna have edit.
I gotta get rid of all of that before I move. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gary. Well, thank you for being a part of that and a part of everything.
And hopefully we'll see you soon.
And we will see you soon.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
All right, sir.
Gary.
Love you.
Right.
Be safe.
All right. You too.
Gary Bilodeau in Washington State.
Doctor/artist.
And his stuff is great.
He's very versatile. Yeah. He's done so many things for the center, and he's just like his up murals, not up murals, but his up.
And I still think what he did last year for our gala was incredible. And we're actually going to talk about.
I'm going to move this just slightly.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to go into a spin, but I just want people to see your shirt because we want to close with the Buddy Walk. DSALA Buddy Walk is tomorrow, 10 a.m. start, and
you can find that on their Facebook page live.
And we'll be posting about it all morning.
Yep.
and come and support. We're going to all virtual walk for the DSLA Buddy Walk. So please support this wonderful organization.
We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. And until then, keep your seatbelt.
We'll see you later,
keep
everyone.
your seatbelt fastened. Right?
Yes.
All right.
One of the things I'm most proud of is our mental health department, where we provide low-cost counseling to special needs individuals and their families. During times like this is something that everyone can use.